Welcome, everyone. It is a great joy to offer this Global Silent Minute during the Enlightening Our Way Convergence. You can register for the convergence at globalfireearth.com. We offer our love and deep appreciation for One Humanity Institute and all who are serving those who are suffering during these very critical and challenging times. May the teddy bears for children, the House of Hope, and the Peace Lab in Oswiecim, Auschwitz, Poland help heal hearts and assist us as we move from chaos to beauty. Today, our Global Silent Minute is dedicated to peace in Ukraine and peace on earth, uniting our thoughts and prayers with all those in Ukraine who observe a silent minute every day as the entire country goes silent at 9 p.m. daily to honor those who have given their lives for freedom and to pray for peace on earth. Listen is an anagram of silent. This listening is at the very heart of the daily Global Silent Minute at 9 p.m. GMT, which was inspired by the original Big Ben Silent Minute that helped to end World War II. In these times, we offer our Global Silent Minute to bring an end to all war, to bring peace to humankind, as we call for global cooperation, peace, and freedom. The power of silence is greater than we know. So let us prepare to enter a Global Silent Minute to radiate our united, loving intention for peace in Ukraine, for peace on earth. With a deep breath, we activate the spirit of peace in our own hearts. And we unite our fiery hearts across distance. Now we invite all those on the other side of the veil to join us as we hold this intention for peace. The next thing you will hear is an Indian elephant temple bell as we enter 1 minute of silence as action in sacred unity. May peace prevail on earth. And it is a heartfelt joy to welcome Nina Meyerhoff, co-founder of One Humanity Institute and a sister of the heart. Nina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dot. And I ask myself, what do I hear in the silence? What a beautiful way to learn and understand. Thank you for that. Greatly. And I wanted to share a bit about our story so that you understand the big picture and how we got to the teddy bears. So you see, we have teddy bears. Yay! Little guys too. Whoops, there you are. But first, let me tell you the story of how this all evolved. Domin Kochevar and myself visited Auschwitz about 7 years ago and experienced the horrors of what humanity has done to humanity. And with that, we became inspired. And through many discussions and meetings, etc., we established the One Humanity Institute as being the contrast to Auschwitz, being a place where humanity understands that we're interconnected, interdependent, and really one. Yes, we are one. So how do we learn to behave, and what does that look like? And that began the journey. In the process of the journey, we went around the world speaking to people, meeting, etc. And we met a man in Israel whose parents and grandparents had lived in Auschwitz, which is the town of Auschwitz. And he donated a house to us. He said, we are the future, and he wants to support the future. And in the process, we received another house. So there we are in the town, landed, feet on the ground, ability to make something new. In early March, end of February, the Ukrainian war began. And I became inspired and went with two dear friends, Diane Williams and Christine Birch. And we went to the border. And we started with 25 teddy bears. But my goodness, they multiplied and multiplied. And what we saw was the understanding that bears mean so much to people because it touches their heart. You can finally hold on to something and experience love. So Becky, would you turn on the video of the teddy bear story, please?
This child was wrapped in his father's coat, crossing the border from Ukraine to Poland, the grandmother wanting to ensure that her grandson had something of his father's in case he never saw him again. Our journey to Poland started way before we even got there, at the local Staples in Vermont, where we received donations of boxes of school supplies, crayons, and coloring books for the kids. As well, we'd like to thank the Vermont Teddy Bear Company for graciously donating the Hero Bear teddy bears, which were absolutely perfect for these Ukrainian kids to receive. Nina Meyerhoff and myself made our way to Poland in just a couple of days from the moment Nina texted and said, hey, let's go and help, to the minute that we hopped onto the plane. We had very little time, but somehow managed to rally an army of people to be able to help us to get the supplies that we needed to take with us to Poland. And here we are, we've arrived in Krakow. We have some of our suitcases with us, filled and stuffed with teddy bears and school supplies. Now, we possibly couldn't carry everything, so we needed to make sure that we could support the local economy of Poland, who were so graciously and generously helping out the Ukrainians. We wanted to buy local, so we bought hundreds of teddy bears from this beautiful store in Krakow. I couldn't believe the selection. They were gorgeous. Our first stop was to make it to the border of Medyka, on the border of Poland and Ukraine, where we were able to see hundreds and thousands of people lined up, waiting to be processed as they entered into Poland. A team of us got together and started meeting people, connecting, and handing out teddy bears. The teddy bears for us were an opportunity to connect with kids and their moms in a safe way. Plus, it brought smiles to their faces. From the border, we headed to the town of OHI, or Auschwitz. Now, many of us, when we think of Auschwitz, think of the concentration camp. But outside of that is a beautiful old town of OHI. And here, the people so welcomely opened their arms for people to be able to come and stay. Our work from there led us back to the Refugee and Processing Center near the border once again in Medyka, where we met and saw hundreds of people staying in the shelters. We also had the opportunity to go to the train station. And here was a different kind of hope. Unlike the border, where people looked so tired and just shell-shocked coming across, the train station was a place of hope. Here, people were getting on trains to go somewhere, and the kids were super excited to receive their teddy bears. We also had the opportunity, from going to the train station and seeing these wonderful, happy, smiley kids. To go back and work once again at the border. We traveled back and forth numerous times with all of our donations. And shelter upon shelter, we just saw more and more people arriving every single day. Our last few days took us to Warsaw, Poland, where we spent some time at a shelter that had at least 4,000 people staying there. And we had 600 teddy bears that day to give out, and there was at least that many kids who received them. The kids here were in a happy space, although the moms looked very tired. And one of the things that we heard over and over again from people was that, where will I go next? The shelters aren't a place to stay. The shelters aren't a place for you to raise your children, and it's certainly not a place to stay safe. And so this propelled us to go back to OHI, where the One Humanity Institute, which Nina heads up, owns 2 buildings. One of them was badly bombed during World War II, but the other, an old bakery, had 9 apartments. So with the call of volunteers and another one of our fellow Hope Makers started project managing and getting the local high school kids involved in the cleanup and the beginnings of the demolish so that we could hire the contractors and get the contractors ready to refurbish these buildings. The 9 apartments will allow for up to 25 people to be able to stay and live for an extended period of time until it is safe to go back home. I'm back home now, and as I reflect upon my time in Poland, I realize what a blessing it was to be there at the beginning of this war. It's because at that point in time, it was just people. It was just the people of Poland and the volunteers that had come to help. There wasn't any NGOs, there wasn't any government set up yet. It was just people coming to help, and we got to be a part of that, which I am truly blessed and honored.
Thank you. So thank you. And now you understand the story of the teddy bears. But more importantly is that we began to raise money, and the funds came from many of you to refurbish this house. It costs a few $100,000. There was even an organization called Brothers Brother who donated thousands of dollars for furniture from IKEA. But we did it. So let me show you what the house looks like now. Becky? Hello.
Hello, my name is Timofey. I am 17 and I'm from Ukraine, from small town Tokmak. It is project House of Hope. Welcome, please. We have been living here already for 5 days. It is bathroom, not interesting. This is our kitchen, fridge, washing machine. So here we eat some food. It is my room. I live here with my mother. This is our bunk beds, this sofa. Here I do my homework. I study Polish and English language now. So I want to study and work in Poland. I want to stay here. It is common room. You can do some work here. We can iron our clothes, and it is wardrobe. It is room for 6 persons. 2 bunk beds and 1 sofa for 2 persons. It is my disciple. It was presented for me. And this is all. Best wishes to Nina. Thank you very much for this project. I'm very glad and happy to live here. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. So you see, we really began and we did it. I mean, we refurbished that house in a few months. And now I want to introduce Janice Hall, who's been working on this project diligently with us, and she's going to share what's next.
Okay, well, it was really amazing to me to see the way that Nina, Diane, and Christine jumped on board. And then, as Nina said, the next steps were them deciding, okay, now we need to get a place to live. And when Nina asks you to do something, everybody just says yes. They don't question it. And so that's what the rest of the world did, that through our network of people who knew people and put this house together. And then another step that happened there was the fact that a dear friend of many of ours, Philip Kolnick, who made his transition last April and was a very good friend of Dot Maver, who did the Global Silent Minute. And she gathered the forces of his family and his network. And he was noted worldwide for being an incredible peacemaker. He was the Shift Network's head of peace. I forget his exact title. Anyway, so we decided that they decided that they would build a peace lab at the House of Hope, because one of the things that was missing for these families, as we try to keep families together to move forward, was a place to work and find jobs. So this peace lab was going to be a place where we had computers and 3D printers so that the parents could look for jobs and the student and the youth could work on computers and study languages, etc. Nina put the House of Hope in touch with a school in the Ukraine, a teacher of a peace school in Ukraine. And so they were able to do lessons with her. I believe she was doing her school in a basement. She was under incredible situation. So just in a matter of weeks, through Philip's network and the network of all of you out there, we raised over $20,000 to buy computers. And then when a group of us went to Poland in September to work with the families, to work on the One Humanity Institute, and to be part of the global Unity Earth and United Nations Week of International Week of Peace. And one of the things that really moved, and we launched, on the first day of that, we launched the House of Hope, the One Humanity Institute Peace Lab at the House of Hope. And the students have been working diligently using those computers, and it has been a real blessing for them to be able to reach to the outside world. We had a global audience when we cut the ribbon for the Peace Lab. And one of the most significant things for me was when I was over there, there was a small group of us, Nina and a few people, who went to the local high school. And it was on the day, September 21st, the International Day of Peace. And as we walked up the stairways, there was a welcome for the International Day of Peace. And several of the group had put together the UN Youth Convergence, and they had their own youth convergence poster. We met with the students of the English classes. Later that day, they came to the House of Hope. They met with some of the families that are at the House of Hope, and they connected at this youth convergence with youth around the world, from Rwanda, from Ukraine, from Europe, I believe, from the Peace School in Chicago. And after this global Zoom that took place at the House of Hope, we were sitting with these students from the local high school. And when we asked them, how did this feel? What did this mean to you? Each and every one said, all these young people around the world are feeling the same things we are. They want the same things we want. We want to know them more. This was a catalyst for them wanting to reach to the outside world more. And I know that Nina has worked with the young people in the high schools over the years she's been there, but I think this was a galvanizing moment for them. Because as a result, when this teddy bear campaign, which Brian will talk about in a minute, was launched, these local youth got on board and they made individual name tags with artwork for every one of these teddy bears. So now they are a part of a global process that is making a difference in the world for them and for youth around the world. for the young people who are in the orphanages of the Ukraine. So with that, I think I'll turn it over to you, Brian, and then you can give the details.
Before we move on, I want to make sure that I mention that this is www.globalfire.earth, so that you're all aware of it. And also for our website, www.onehumanity.institute/teddy bears. Okay, Brian, go for it. And thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you. So when Nina invited my wife and I to come and be part of the core team, we said yes. That's her power. She's a sweet mother of all of us in some ways. So anyway, Lisa and I came to work in the Peace Lab to help set it up and get started. And at one point, after doing a few chores, we were told that between 700 and 800 teddy bears were coming. And we launched into action. So I'm going to show you a little PowerPoint presentation. It'll only take a couple minutes, but here we go. All right, here I am. Okay, so this is the beginning of the project, and I began to work with this whole idea that we could deliver these teddy bears before the holidays for children in the orphanages in the Ukraine, and also through support and funding, we could provide the needed funds to heat the House of Hope and bring warmth and care to the Ukrainian guests that are living there. So my first project was to create the tags. And so kind of designed this quickly, and we printed 100 pages of this and cut them up into the cards that the students, amazing student, 100 of these were printed and cut up, hole punched, and the kids started to create their own messages. And some of them want to be pen pals. And I mean, look at the art. And this is just a few. There were 800 of these done in amazing time. And so here are the bears with the cards. And now they're putting the ribbons through the cards, wrapping them around the necks of the bears and placing them in these gift bags. And here the packaging began. And here is a great gratitude that the Warsaw Rotary Club delivered the teddy bears to the children in Ukrainian orphanages. And we give great thanks to them for delivering them. And as Nina said, we received notice just before this Zoom that they're being received. So thank you all. I'm going to stop my screen share, and we have just a couple minutes left. So thank you.
Thank you, Brian. I want to say thank you, everybody, because this is complete. We really made it happen. The bears came from a group in America called Good Bears. They sent it to us and we moved it on to Rotary, and Rotary had convoy of trucks and took the bears to orphanages, and now they're being opened and given to the kids. So great success, really exciting. And with that, we ask you please to donate, because we need money for the shipping costs. We need money for the houses so that they are warm. Money helps us move forward. Please, please, not a great sum, any sum. Just show your willingness to work with us, because we really care and we believe you care too. Thank you. Thank you.
And how can people donate, Nina? Please tell us.
Yeah, if you go to www.onehumanity.institute/teddy bears, you'll see the page there, and it says donate, and you're given a choice.
Yeah, it's
Thank,
an
Let me
investment
also-
of the heart. It's a beautiful
me-
investment of the heart.
thank you.
Let me
Janet?
also say that if you just remember onehumanity.institute, okay, it's not a .com.org, it's a .institute. If you go there, there's a pop-up. You don't have to remember anything else. And that pop-up will guide you directly to the page where you can donate. And if I may emphasize the point about the heat, heating costs have gone up threefold because of the war. We all hear the stories about the fuel costs, but it's impacting us personally. And we don't take care of hundreds of thousands of displaced people. We take good care of a small amount. We keep them warm, we feed them, we provide them transitional housing for 3 to 6 months. So it's a small amount of people, but it's a big amount of love that keeps them warm. And it's your love that will help all of them stay warm this winter and put a smile on a young person in an orphanage as well.
So thank you very much for attending and listening. And we're grateful. Our team is growing. And if you're interested, please contact one of us and join us in these efforts. Thank you.